The seal told her, "No one hunts snipers at night." Then she took down 9 before dawn. No one heard her breath. No one saw her move. But every soldier on the ridge that night would swear, even years later, that something in the darkness shifted, like the night itself had come alive. And when the SEAL commander growled, "No one hunts snipers at night." No one. She only tightened the strap on her rifle, looked into the pitch-black mountains, and whispered, "Someone has to." That was the moment the legend of Alara Quinn was born. But legends rarely start with bravery. Most begin with pain. Alara grew up in a town where the lights failed more often than they worked. Her father, a quiet mechanic and former marksman, taught her early that precision wasn't about strength, it was about stillness. "Still hands," he used to say, tapping her shoulder lightly, "make loud results." But after he died in an accident, the world felt too loud, too chaotic. Alara lost herself, drifting between school and empty evenings. Until, one day, she walked past a Navy recruitment poster that read, "Become the calm in the chaos." Those words pierced through her gloom. 2 months later, she signed up. Training wasn't easy. She was smaller than most, quieter than all, and her instructors constantly pushed her to the breaking point. But there was something different about her. When others shook under pressure, her pulse slowed. When chaos grew, she steadied. She wasn't the strongest, the fastest, or the loudest. But she was the most controlled. One day, during a marksmanship test, the SEAL instructor watched her fire 5 rounds into a target so distant it blurred into the horizon. 5 shots, 5 impacts, all within the same hole. He didn't praise her. He just nodded once. That was the closest thing to approval she ever got. Years later, she was deployed in the harsh valleys of the Eastern Front, where an enemy sniper unit known as Ghost Talon had been hunting Allied teams for weeks. 9 confirmed kills, expert-level precision. They were invisible, ruthless, and always struck at night. Alara was assigned to Task Force Raptor, led by Commander Briggs, a tough, battle-scarred SEAL with little patience for untested specialists. "This is a defensive mission," Briggs briefed the team. "We hold position. We wait for daylight. No one hunts snipers at night. It's suicide." Alara glanced at the map spread across the dirt. Every red mark, every fallen soldier, had occurred between midnight and dawn. Waiting until daylight meant waiting for more deaths. She stepped forward. "I'll hunt them," she said softly. Briggs' head snapped up. "No you won't," he barked. "This isn't a movie. Night hunts are blind. They see you long before you see them." "They're killing our people," she replied. "And they think we'll just sit and wait. That's their advantage." Briggs folded his arms. "And you think you alone are going to take that advantage away?" Alara didn't raise her voice. "I don't think. I know." The room fell silent. Briggs leaned in, eyes hard. "Listen, Quinn, you're good. You're damn good. But no one hunts snipers at night." Alara pulled a small device from her pack, a thermal scope modified by her father years ago. A piece of home she carried in every mission. "Maybe no one," she said. "But I'm not no one." That night, she went alone. The mountains were cold enough to freeze breath midair. The moon hid behind thick clouds, smothering what little light remained. Down below, Task Force Raptor held their position, watching her silhouette vanish into the blackness. Briggs muttered, "Kid's going to get herself killed." But something in his voice trembled, fear or respect, no one could tell. Alara moved like a ghost, climbing ridges and slipping through ravines. She scanned the thermal scope, seeing the world in silvery silhouettes. Hours passed. Wind howled. The darkness pressed around her like a weight. Then, a flicker, a heat signature, stationary, elevated, focused, a sniper. She exhaled slowly, remembering her father's voice, still hands. Loud results. 1 breath, 1 shot. The first Ghost Talon sniper fell before he ever sensed her. But she didn't stop. She kept going. Through the ravine, 2 more. On the cliff, another. By the rock bed, 2 working together. Every time, she moved before they could triangulate her. Every time, she became the silence they feared. At 3:17 a.m., Briggs heard a crackle in the radio. 1 down, her voice whispered. Then, minutes later, 2. Then, 4. Then, 6. The men looked at each other in disbelief. Briggs clenched the radio tighter. By 4:50 a.m., she whispered the final count. 9. Ghost Talon is done. Then her voice faded out. Static. Silence. Briggs felt a weight plunge into his stomach. "Quinn, do you copy?" "Quinn." He didn't wait for permission. He sprinted into the mountains with a rescue team, hearts pounding, terrain unforgiving. They found her sitting on a ridge as dawn cracked open the sky. Her rifle lay beside her. Her clothes were torn, knee bleeding, hands trembling from exhaustion. But she was alive. When Briggs reached her, he stopped, because she wasn't looking at him. She was looking at the sunrise, eyes glistening. "You told me no one hunts snipers at night," she said softly. "Good thing I'm not no one." Briggs exhaled, shaking his head in disbelief. Then he did something no one had ever seen him do. He saluted her, not as a commander, not as a superior, but as a soldier honoring another. "You just saved this entire team," he said. "You earned that sunrise." In the months that followed, word spread of the lone sniper who hunted the hunters. Soldiers she'd never met sent letters of thanks. Commanders studied her methods. Recruits whispered her name like a promise of hope. But Alara never cared about fame. She only cared about one thing, that her father's lessons lived on. That stillness could save lives. That courage didn't need noise. And that sometimes, just sometimes, the quietest person in the room carried the loudest destiny. In the end, Alara's story isn't about the 9 snipers she took down. It's about the one belief she refused to surrender. When others hide from the darkness, someone must walk into it. And she did. For all of them. For all of us.